welcome Psychological Vibes YouTube channel. Today's video about the one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because psychological facts. Why do they seem distant? Understanding love silence. Introduction. Have you ever been in a relationship where everything felt perfect until it didn't? Suddenly, the person who once made you feel cherished and adored starts pulling away. They become distant, their warm affection replaced by an eerie silence. It's confusing, isn't it? Painful. 2. Did I do something wrong? Are they losing interest? Is this the beginning of the end? Before jumping to conclusions, it's important to recognize that distance in a relationship doesn't always signal a lack of love. Sometimes, it's a reflection of something deeper, an inner struggle that your partner may not even know how to articulate. Let's explore why someone who loves you might seem distant and what it could mean for your relationship. 1. Fear of vulnerability when love feels exposed. Have you ever heard the saying, love is giving someone the power to break you and trusting them not to? For many people, this vulnerability is terrifying. When we fall in love, we open ourselves up to the possibility of rejection, heartbreak, or disappointment. It's like standing in the middle of a storm with no protection, hoping you'll make it through unscathed. Does your partner shy away from deep conversations? Do they seem to retreat when things get emotionally intense? For some, pulling away is a defense mechanism. They love you deeply but fear that their emotions make them too exposed. Rather than risk being hurt, they choose to create distance, hoping it will shield them from pain. 2. Overthinking and insecurity. The silent battles we fight. Love can bring out the best in us, but it can also magnify our insecurities. Does your partner seem overly cautious about what they say or do? Do they hesitate before speaking, as if analyzing every word? When someone loves deeply, they often put immense pressure on themselves to be perfect. They might question, am I enough for them? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I ruin this? This constant self-doubt can be paralyzing. Instead of risking a mistake, they retreat into silence, unintentionally creating a gap between you. 3. Feeling overwhelmed, the weight of deep emotions. Imagine standing in the middle of an ocean, feeling the waves crash over you. That's what love can feel like, beautiful but also overwhelming. Have you ever noticed your partner pulling away after a romantic or emotional moment? Do they seem to need more space after a big milestone or heartfelt conversation? Sometimes, love is so intense that it becomes difficult to process. It's not that they don't care. They simply need time to sort through their emotions. Think of it as taking a moment to breathe before diving back in. 4. Avoiding dependence, balancing love and independence. In today's world, independence is often celebrated. What happens when love challenges that? Does your partner hesitate to rely on you, even when they clearly need help? Do they sometimes seem distant after a moment of closeness? For some people, the idea of being dependent on someone else, even someone they love, feels like losing a part of themselves. They might create space, not because they don't love you, but because they fear becoming too clingy or losing their sense of self. 5. Testing your feelings. How much do you love them? Here's a difficult truth. Sometimes, distance is a way to test the waters. How do you react when they pull away? Do you reach out, or do you let the silence linger? When someone loves deeply, they may subconsciously create distance to understand your feelings better. It's not a game, it's a way of seeking reassurance. Will they miss me as much as I miss them? How far can I step back before they notice? While this behavior can feel frustrating, it often stems from a place of vulnerability and insecurity. 6. External stressors. Life being in the relationship. Sometimes, the distance has nothing to do with the relationship at all. Life is complicated, and external stressors like work, family, or health can take a toll. Is your partner going through a tough time at work? Are they dealing with unresolved personal issues? When life becomes overwhelming, it's easy for someone to retreat inward, unintentionally creating distance in their relationships. What should you do when they seem distant? If you've noticed distance in your relationship, it's natural to feel hurt or confused. But instead of reacting with frustration, try these steps. 1. Be patient. Remember, distance doesn't always mean rejection. Sometimes, it's a sign of internal struggle. Give your partner the time and space they need to work through their emotions. 2. Communicate openly. Silence breeds misunderstanding. Instead of assuming the worst, have an honest conversation. I've noticed you've been distant lately. Is there something on your mind? Approach the topic with kindness, not accusation. 3. Show kindness and understanding. When someone pulls away, it's easy to respond with anger or defensiveness, but these reactions only widen the gap. Instead, show empathy and let them know you're there for them. 4. Reflect on your own actions. Take a moment to ask yourself, am I meeting their emotional needs? Have I been unintentionally creating pressure in the relationship? Relationships are a two-way street, and self-reflection is just as important as understanding your partner. Questions to ask yourself. When faced with distance, it's natural to focus on your partner's behavior, but it's equally important to turn inward and reflect on your own feelings. 1. Am I secure in this relationship, or am I projecting my fears? 2. What do I need from my partner, and am I communicating that clearly? 3. Am I giving them the space to grow, or am I holding on too tightly? Final thoughts. The complexity of love. Love isn't always easy. It's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes painful, but it's also one of life's greatest gifts. When your partner seems distant, it's not always a sign of trouble. It's often an opportunity for growth and understanding. Instead of focusing on the silence, try to understand what it's saying. Approach your partner with kindness, patience, and an open heart. You might discover that their love for you is stronger than it seems, more profound than you imagined. Have you experienced distance in a relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. If you found this video helpful, like it, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more insights on love, relationships, and personal growth. Why do they seem distant? Understanding love silence.